Lowkey, YouTube hustler, telling you what's lit, telling you what's quiet in the world of Tokyo. Now, let's get into today's recommendations. Now, say you're in Japan and you're really into like manga and anime. Which festivals should you attend? The biggest ones, obviously. And I want to talk to you about Comiket, WonderFest, Comitia, and Anime Japan. I picked these four in particular for their size and the particular vibe that they had, and they're all in the same location. And I think they're must-sees if you're ever around. So the first one I attended was Comiket. Now, Comiket is a comic market, and it is held twice a year. There's a summer Comiket and a winter Comiket. And it is the biggest manga convention now. My feelings of going to this festival was it's held for 2 days on a weekend. Usually I went to the winter one, and that was in December. It was on December 30th to 31st, so on actual New Year's Eve. And it was packed, crazy packed. If you get there at about 10 a.m., it is too packed. They recommend foreigners get there from about 12 noon and to have a look around. And it actually ends at about 4 p.m., so people start packing up their stalls as about 3:30 p.m. Incredible amounts of people. The venue, Tokyo Big Sight, is wow. It is quite a sight. It's quite a big sight. Comiket, the cosplayers, intense, very intense, incredible cosplay. They were just so many of them. As soon as you walk outside as well, the level is something else. They are literally lines of photographers trying to get a shot with some of these cosplayers. and they put in such work on the actual day. They do some of them could even do 100 photo shoots within one day. They're literally just posing the whole day. I really felt for them. Some of them are wearing almost nothing, and it is freezing cold, and they are posing hardcore. So if you get a chance and you love cosplay, I highly recommend Comiket. Now, very similar to Comiket is Comitia. Now, Comitia is more the independent illustrators, and it is manga based, just like Comiket, but more Dojinshi, so fan fiction, and more independent people trying to release their own manga. I like that one as well a lot. Smaller, but still very intense and still amazing cosplay. And they have a similar entrance system. So Comiket is run by the community, for the community. And the way to actually buy a ticket is you buy the catalog. The catalog has got a listing of all the different stalls. And you too can have a stall if you're an artist or a particular anime product you're doing. You can rent a stall, get a table there and do your thing, and you'll also be listed in the catalog. So you buy the catalog, which is about $20, 2,000 yen, and you buy it on the day. You can buy more goods. You can buy the Ita bags, and I heard a very interesting story about the name of this bag. So Ita is taken from the word itai in Japanese, which means to hurt. So these hurt bags. And not hurt that the bag hurts you, it hurts your wallet because you're going to buy so much stuff at the convention. So the Ita bags are beautiful, and I had to get one as well. The Ita bag is lit. They have exclusive bags, so they'll hire a particular illustrator to or a mangaka to draw up the design for the bag, and it is an incredible souvenir. Some people even collect the Comiket or Comitia bags. So very, very, very nice. Moving on, WonderFest. Now, WonderFest is the biggest figurine festival in the world. Now, WonderFest as well has many exclusives, and you can meet Dojinshi. You can meet people doing fan fiction or making their own figurines, and you can also meet the professional figurine companies on both different sides. Overwhelming the amount of talent and the many different styles of anime or anime figurines, manga figurines, character figurines. They're actually called garage kits, and you can see how they're pieced together. Incredible artists, sculpting talent. My only criticism, though, the only part that is a bit quiet, is I wish there was more diversity in their tastes for what they choose to sculpt. I did see some very interesting things. I did see some slightly disturbing things. Not really sure I can put that on YouTube. I'm not going to. So we've got the manga, we've got the figurines, the animation. Now, I made a video about the Ghibli Museum, so I kind of stuck my big toe into animation a little bit. But the Anime Japan Festival, also at Tokyo Big Sight, wow, to see how intensive it is. And you can also see some of the technical colleges as well. They do presentations, so if you want to go into the animation college, you could have a look there. I also saw a Saudi Arabian-owned animation studio, which was wow. Foreigners are getting it too. Everyone's getting in the artwork. So I like that as well. Anime Japan was probably the most foreigner-friendly convention I went to. There was tours in English, and thank you so much to the convention organizers for having this tour. It was amazing to learn some very interesting things about these festivals. So I learned about this style of theater called Takarazuka, and Takarazuka is the female or a female version of kabuki, where an all-female cast does the show, and you have female actors playing the male characters as well. And that was just wow. I also saw the Otome games, and those are games more targeted at the female audience. And yeah, full on for diversity, and those are very interesting to see. I also heard of the term Seichi Junrei, which is like a pilgrimage tour. So you can go on different tours around Japan, and you can see the different spots in Japan that influence the animator, and you can see scenes from anime. And walking around Japan, I can definitely tell you Japan does feel like an anime, because Japan is made by people who live in Japan. they draw what is around them, and that is how they interact with the world. So many places in Japan remind me of things I've seen in animations or games. Places like in Japan, some places feel like Final Fantasy VII, and it hit me so hard in the feels and all that nostalgia. Just it really got me. The artwork again, outstanding at all of these conventions. So if you are someone who dabbles a bit in your artistic interests, I highly recommend any 4 of these conventions. I would have liked to have talked about 5 of these. The Tokyo Game Show. I haven't attended Tokyo Game Show, so I think gaming is the other major part. Yeah, I think I talked about everything in this video. We talked about the cosplay, we talked about the unique exclusive gear, omiyage, you can get at some of these, the interesting community. Last point I want to say is the buzz and the hype from these crowds is wild. It is huge. Like, I've walked around like, Takeshita Street and like Shibuya Crossing, but it gets crazier packed at these festivals. So if you want to dive deep into the culture, I highly recommend these festivals. They are so about it. And I almost want to talk another one about like diversity in anime. I was actually walking around Shinjuku recently, and I went to the Marui department store, and they had a unique exhibition for an anime they were doing, a school idol project, and another one. And I saw like an African character in an anime, and I went wild. I was like, wow! We're getting there. Diversity is coming in slowly but surely. So that was freaking amazing to see some more diversity in anime. And if you are non-Japanese and you love to draw, please keep doing it. Anime is how I learned more about Japan. And yeah, I think the learning aspect of anime is something that can be kind of overlooked. And I think it's something that could be an amazing thing. And we should definitely support it. And I hope we can do more to help the industry of animators as well. The industry is kind of going in decline, and I'm not quite qualified to speak about that. But there are other YouTubers who've dived into that quite well. For Never World has gone into that quite well, and just going to these festivals and just seeing the 2 different sides of it was something really interesting. So yeah, my Sakai is turned on to full. Mr. Lowkey. Peace. Sorry, by the way, getting to Tokyo Big Sight. You can, it is in Odaiba, which is another amazing area. They've got a giant Gundam, amazing shopping district, and you can ride the Sky Train as well, the Yurika Moe. And I just had to throw that in as well. The trip there, epic, very epic lit trip. So yeah, signing out one more time.
I know that the kids beneath me, they're visionaries before their time. I don't revolt against anything. The only thing that I work against is the fact that no one told me I could do this as a job. Some of the rest of my career is like showing kids, like, yeah, you can do it too. Like, there is no wall. It's a generation of us, and I think the one thing that brings us together is that we just want to push culture forward.